A young English man named Laurie once stayed in Babaji's ashram at Hanuman Nagar for about a year. He had been interested in India's spiritual heritage and had come to India to learn about it. He had met Babaji, secured his grace, and was allowed to stay in the ashram, studying with Haridas Baba. One day, some devotees were talking to Babaji about Laurie and his spiritual practice. Babaji said he would soon be going away. His Maya was coming and would take him back to England. Some days later, Laurie's lady friend Susan arrived in Nainital. Babaji told Didi that they would be visiting Allahabad and would stay in the house for some days and she should arrange for them. Didi arranged a small room for their use. When she had opened the door to fix up the room, she found that one wall was full of footprints. She was astonished to see them and was convinced that they were Babaji's. Many devotees came to see the footprints and believed them to be Babaji's, but could not understand what they indicated. A few days later, Laurie and Suzanne arrived. Every attempt was made to make their stay comfortable, but there were some difficulties about their food. Laurie was used to pure vegetarian cooking, but Suzanne was not. She complained to Didi directly that she was losing her health because her food was being neglected. This was hard for Didi, who had taken so much care with all the arrangements. Tears came in her eyes. Shortly after, a devotee came with his car. He had received a phone call from Baba asking him to take Laurie and Susan to his house for a few days. They had been transferred. Babaji arrived after a few days and consoled Didi. He explained that Laurie and Susan were old friends who were planning to marry. When Laurie did not return from India, Susan came to bring him back. They had no money and didn't know what to do. They were given the passage money on the day they were to leave. Babaji left for Chitkut with some devotees. He told me to accompany Laurie and Suzanne to the station that afternoon. With tears in his eyes, Laurie begged to be excused for all their lapses. The devotees in whose house they had been staying also came to the station and then gave me a ride home in his car. We sat on the porch and he told me about the strange behavior of his guests. They had stayed in their room all the time, bolting it from inside. This created some suspicion in his mind. It was the time of the Indo-Chinese conflict and he thought they were spies, transmitting radio messages from the closed room when he made that statement. I could not listen to him any longer. He had his tea and prasad and then left.